All right, now I'm gonna do the rundown on the electrical. So what we have here is the whole chicken coop is run by this extension cord right here. Comes in, goes into here, and then we got a couple of boxes and termination points. Let me get this out. Sorry. Okay, so what we have here is a few things. One, we have our electric fence. Two, we've got our timer that is also wired a certain way, and I'll get into that in a minute. But first, let's talk electric fence. So I have a switch right here that allows me to turn the electric fence on and off. Whenever I'm working around the coop for an extended period of time, I just turn it off so that if I bump the wire, that I don't get a shock. Now, real quick, so we got our earth ground and our fence. And then if you come down here, what you'll see is the earth ground is on a copper coated stake that I've drilled in, or driven into the ground, and then it's on a it's shined. I ground it down, and it's got a nice contact right there. And then I just have this bottle over it, just so nobody falls on it, or, you know, kind of like the things they put on rebar at construction sites. Now, here's the other part of the fence that I'm actually really proud of. So what I did is I made my own insulators. Okay, so here's the hot wire. I don't know if you can see that. Here's the hot wire coming from the fence module, but I made my own insulators because to make my own route that I wanted to, custom route, was going to cost me like $50, and all these custom insulators, and they're not designed to attach to metal. They're designed to attach to wood or T-posts. And I couldn't see putting in all these T-posts that are fall hazards and buying all these special insulators. So I made my own, and it works great. So all they are is just 1/2 inch angle and then the PVC pipe. And so what I did was, sorry, I'll show you on one. I can take this one off. So I welded a piece of angle iron out at a 45-degree angle, and then I took my PVC pipe and drilled a hole through each side to feed the wire through. Then you slide this over, and no matter how much you bump it, the end of the rebar is right here. This thing, unless you shove something up in here, and you have to shove really hard to get the metal to flex and go up, it'll never touch the earth ground, or I mean the frame, which is also probably grounded pretty well now with all the moisture underneath it. But yeah, so this was my homemade insulator problem. And the problem I had was that the dog was coming and digging into the chicken coop. She wouldn't get in, but she'd dig just enough to let him out. So I'd wake up with chickens outside my windows. But I mean, you can see. So I went around the entire perimeter and put a little mini electric fence in, and this will work against coyotes too. But sorry about that. Yeah, you're pissed. The day I put it in, she would usually go out the dog door, dig under the chicken coop, and then I'd hear chickens outside my window while I was sleeping. The day I put it in, I woke up to her leaving the bed. She came back about 2 minutes later and plopped down on the bed and gave out the biggest sigh I've ever heard her do. Because she found that live wire. Anyway, so that's this switch I wired in. So here, let's start from the beginning again. Okay, so we've got our power coming in. Okay, I wired it into these right here, these ones are always hot. This one and this one are always hot. This switch goes to this outlet. So these two are switched outlets on the electrical, are switched outlets on this switch. So when this is up, the fence is active, and yeah, when this is down, the fence is not active. Now here's the other thing where on these, this is the timer for the lights. And what you want to do is you want to have your lights on a timer so that in the winter they come on and they stay on until about midnight or so. And what you're doing is you're extending the waking day of the chickens, and they're going to lay more in the winter if you keep them awake longer. Now what I did though is all of these lights are on one circuit. They're on, I mean, this circuit's always hot, these two outlets right here. But this one right here, this overrides the timer. So on the hot side of this switch, the switched side of this switch is hooked up to the hot of this timer. So what happens is when this timer turns on, it puts hot juice into all the lights. But if I come out here, like right now it's 1 in the morning, it's time to let these girls go to sleep. But if I come in 1 in the morning, I need to grab something, grab eggs or show off the chickens or something, then this overrides the timer just by turning it on. But the timer will come on, like right now I've got it set from 6 to 11. So it'll come on from 6 to 11, then go off. Another quick thing I do want to state on all of my fixtures, the neat thing is that I got my fixtures from Goodwill. These metal ones are great. Got these from Goodwill, but these plastic ones I bought from Home Depot, and I'm going to be removing them and trying to get more metal ones from Goodwill because it won't hold up. The plastic up here cracked because it's really shoddy. All the ones that I found at Goodwill were metal. This one was from Goodwill, and the two in the other Coop were from Goodwill, and they're fine. But this one cracked where the set screw is from going through a couple seasons of winter and summer, and this plastic was really shitty, pardon my French. And so I want to get rid of this whole fixture and go back. So like my lamp cover is not, I can't even, the lamp cover fell on the ground. Luckily it didn't break, but so it's up there on my electrical box, but I'm going to put that back in. But yeah, this part right here broke, and yeah, I wired all this stuff up myself. Where the two coops meet, I used a flex and a junction box, so if I ever have to move this, the junction box comes off and this disconnects right here, and then the two coops are severed and can be moved by the forklift. But yeah, I had to buy all of this stuff, but the wire inside was all reclaimed from scrap metal, from doing scrap metal working. It comes all the way over to here, and it goes up for that outside light. There's an outside light out there, but I was thinking of maybe connecting in for a light to heat the water, but I never had a problem. The water never got cold enough to freeze. It's never been a problem in Tucson. We do get down to freezing, but not for long. Only for a couple hours at night. So that's the electrical system. And then, you know, this is just a reclaimed alarm panel box. And I just made sure that I made all the holes in the bottom and ran all the wires through. So there's a drip loop in case when it rains, if this gets covered in water, it just drips off and down through the drip loop down. And on this exterior, I made sure I went ahead and paid the extra money for the all-weather enclosures even though it's not all weather when you have something plugged into it. And so this was also, I had a bug zapper that was over there hanging, but I moved it over there by my workbench because I figured I'd rather be bug free than the chickens being bug free while I'm working. You probably hear the train in the background. This is Tucson. Got to deal with it all night long. We do have a major Union Pacific yard here in Tucson. So with that being said, I guess that's all I have on electrical for now. Yeah, so hope you've enjoyed. Maybe I'll add a couple more. I think I've covered everything with the chicken coop though. I've done electrical, I've done water, I've done feed, and I've done structure. So thanks for watching.